What's going on, guys? So I wanted to make a quick video just to kind of reach out and update everybody on our business and kind of what's going on in the state of Ohio right now. Kind of update everybody on behalf of all small businesses and all self-employed people because there's a lot of confusion about what's going on in the state right now. So basically, following the governor's orders, we've been shut down for the past month. We are hoping to have a soft reopen on May 1st, but all of April we've been shut down. The end of March we were shut down. We've been able to do absolutely nothing. So what does that basically mean? We've been deemed a non-essential business, so we haven't been able to do any photo shoots, regardless of if we follow the 6 feet apart, less than 10 people rules. None of that really applies. We've been told to do absolutely nothing. So front porch sessions, things like that. The Lieutenant Governor Husted has told us is not allowed. Basically, our business had to shut down completely because we are completely non-essential. We face a $750 fine, and we've been threatened with jail time. They'd probably go more the fine route than that, but also our business license and all that, the state, controls. On top of that, we have business insurance, and they dictate kind of what we are and are not allowed to do. So we would have to answer to them as well if we chose to disobey a legal order. So basically, we're doing absolutely nothing right now. We can't do the front porch sessions. We can't go out and shoot if we stay, 30 feet apart. None of that matters. So then it gets into like the financial side of this. We also decided to completely shut down in hopes that there would be federal aid or state aid available to us. So let's get into that. As a lot of people know, the SBA and the government has made these promises regarding aid to small businesses. So basically, it's an awesome program, but it hasn't worked out the way it was perhaps designed to. So here's kind of the perspective of what we've dealt with on our end. So you hear about the SBA loans that we can get $10,000. So the process for that is they were giving out loans of $10,000 and only 1 million businesses get that. So what we're looking at is roughly 60 million small businesses in the United States trying to get 1 million loans. And the SBA kind of gave us a little bit of guidance recently that they're looking at businesses that have the biggest payrolls first. So, I mean, their intention is good, that they're trying to take care of the people that have the most employees and it will help the most. But a lot of businesses are 1 or 2 employees. So people like us are way down at the bottom of the list. So we were not eligible for any of that aid. The second biggest program was the SBA PPP loans that everybody hears about. So this is like what the governor is touting as being a really good relief effort for small businesses. And it is, but what we're running into that is basically the same thing. All the banks, these have to be applied for through banks. And, situations like Chase, we bank through Chase, we bank through RightPat. And both of them were not ready to offer these loans. So we just got the notification, you can apply, and that happened this week as opposed to last week. So as we go to submit the application, we, find out through CNN and everybody else that it was either $300 or $600 billion it ran out. So there's no more money available, and we're finally allowed to apply. So, we're submitting the application just in case next month maybe more aid becomes available. But this is where you can get up to $10 million. We're applying for $2,000. So companies like, they were saying like Ruth's Chris Steakhouse got $10 million out of that money. A lot of big companies are using that. And again, it's good that they're able to keep, hundreds of employees on payroll, hopefully. But it's also, kind of designed to not work out very well for the really small businesses. So that's kind of what we're facing there. Then you get down to unemployment. Unemployment is not designed to help people who are self-employed. So we've applied through that. We were rejected through that. They keep saying that it's going to get fixed. I understand that the system was never designed to handle this many people applying for unemployment. So obviously at some point we're hoping that will go through and, maybe even just get us a couple $100, anything. We're running at a negative income right now. We're having to refund sessions. We weren't able to go to Florida. We're having to reschedule things, and we're losing money. We're still paying, utilities and rent and, our mortgage. So we're hemorrhaging money, and we're out of our savings account, towards the end of this month. So the stimulus definitely helped us. It gave, kept us alive for another month. So, we're looking at our options, and it's not time to panic yet, but, we're literally at the point where we're within, 2 or 3 weeks of not having a safety net at all. And something's going to have to happen at that point. And so that's why we're looking at, taking prepayments and things like that. I know people have agreed and disagreed over that. We have to reopen our business. That's the bottom line. And we're not going to violate any rules regarding social distancing. We will not go against the governor's orders in any way, shape, or form, but we have to in some way, whether it's prepayments or designing banners or something, locally from home. We have to do something to get our business open again. I have reached out to Governor DeWine. We do have some contacts at the State House through our charity work. We've received, dozens of letters from Lieutenant Governor Husted and Governor DeWine. So we have a unique ability to access them and reach out to them, get guidance from them. So what I've been doing is trying to petition to get a lot of the PUA funds released. So there is an availability of funds that the federal government released to help out small businesses, self-employed, 1099 workers. Ohio is just not ready. We don't have the capacity or systems in place to distribute those. So we're trying to get that figured out. So there is help on the way. We just have to get it going. And I think that a lot of small businesses are kind of being overlooked, and it might not be maliciously, because on the surface and to many of you, it seems like we're getting the help that we need. It's easy to read about, $10 million in loans, $10,000 in loans, all the small business aid from SBA and PPP and the state. There's a lot out there, but a lot of it's not getting to the small businesses, and those are the ones that are going to shut down. If there's any overhead at all in your small business, you're struggling at this point. And even if there's not overhead, you can't afford to have zero income for this long. So hopefully, those are like the $600 a week. That is what needs to be able to get to the self-employed people, the 1099 workers. That's aid that's designed to help them survive. So we need to figure out how to get the PUA funds to them. But in regards to our business, now is the time that we're going to start looking at our reopening plans. Like I said, we're going to start out with taking prepayments. So if you want to book something for summer or fall, we want to start accepting prepayments and being optimistic. If the governor says, we're stuck in our houses for 3 months, we have to comply. We have to let that kind of work itself out legislatively and go from there. But it's time for us as a business to kind of plan for what's to come. So we need to anticipate reopening. We need to plan our structure and plan how we're going to react as we reopen. Hopefully in May, if not, definitely, hopefully in June. We want to be back to doing photo shoots. We want to make sure that we are compliant with everything. We've ordered masks. Definitely, intentionally choosing what lenses we use to make sure that we're more than 6 feet apart at all times. Making sure that we have small groups. there's a lot that we can do to make sure that we're compliant, and we're going to do everything that we can to ensure that. But it's time for a lot of small businesses to kind of look at what their reopening structure is going to be and what they're going to do in the future. And we wanted to kind of reach out and kind of let you know what's going on from the small business side. There's a lot of confusion out there, and it's not just us. This is what your favorite restaurant is dealing with. This is what your favorite small shop that you like to get your clothing from, all these boutiques. I mean, this is what we are all dealing with right now. And sometimes to the consumer, it might seem like, oh, we're getting a ton of aid, and we're really not. We've had clients reach out to us saying, hey, you just got $10,000 today. Can you, give us a discount on this? And I mean, the reality is we're not seeing any of that, and we are absolutely losing money. I'm not doing this as a desperation plea. We don't need anything from anybody, but we just kind of want to explain the situation that we're in, kind of give the small business perspective on it, let you know the reality of what's going on the ground, and kind of give you a vision of what it's going to look like moving forward. So support us, support any small business that you love. This is kind of the future and how we're going to have to react to keep everything going. And hopefully this explains the situation a little better to everybody. I know there's a lot of confusion, and I know a lot of people will respond to this regarding the law. I mean, none of us are legal experts. We're kind of here to interpret what the law is, and kind of go from there. We've been very fortunate to be able to get some feedback from the Secretary of State's office and from Lieutenant Governor Husted regarding, what their recommendations are. A lot of this is very open to interpretation. I'm not saying that people that are interpreting it differently are doing anything illegally. It's how you interpret it, how your business insurance interprets it, and how the state interprets it. And you kind of have to find a balance in between there and figure out where you're comfortable at. We've gone a little more cautious than some, and there's nothing wrong with either perspective, but moving forward, we're kind of figuring out, reevaluating and figuring out what it is moving forward. So again, I don't want anybody to think that we're saying, you're doing something wrong. Literally, everyone's open to their own interpretation of it. Our business insurance basically guides a lot of our decision making. They give us guidance, and if they say we're not covered if we're operating, we don't want to do that. And we wanted to be legally compliant. At the time, we were hoping that we would be able to receive assistance by being compliant, but that ended up not being the case. So moving forward, we just kind of wanted to let you guys get an update on what's going on, what it's like for small business owners, and what it's going to be like moving forward. So just, if you get any takeaway of this, it's, that the situation's not the same for every person. You might know people who are doing fantastic during this time. You might know people who have gotten incredible aid from the government, and you might know people that are worse off than us. So keep that in mind. Just because one person's doing great or one person's struggling, not everyone is in the same boat. So keep your small business owner friends in mind. There's a good chance a lot of us won't come back from this. So if you have a place that you shop at or a company that you love, make sure you stay in touch with them and give them your support, so that they make it out of this. A lot of the casualties of COVID-19 are going to be small businesses. So keep us in mind. Keep all your small business friends in mind. Any business that you like, even the big businesses are struggling right now. So keep everybody in your prayers and thoughts. Stay healthy. Stay at home for right now. And let's kind of figure out what's going to happen moving forward. None of us know. So I want to thank everybody that made it this far into the video. Best wishes to everybody. Again, stay healthy. Stay in contact with us. Feel free to send us a message. Keep us updated on what's going on in your life too. We're isolated just like everybody else. So at this point, we're doing our soft open. We're going to go back to editing. We're going to go back to designing banners and doing ad design and stuff. Anything that can be done in-house. And we will be taking prepayments. And we look forward to reopening at some point soon as we're legally allowed to. And best wishes to everybody. Thank you.